in 2003, then in Hungary in 2004. In both countries we started from scratch, we just built the business there. But in Hungary, as a next step, we found a partner which is very well-known and big local media company, Sanoma Budapest, part of Sanoma Group, and we are working till today with them as a joint venture. Our first attempt, our first try to get the Ukrainian and Russian market was just launching one common site for both markets, called RUNET, and it was not really successful. We started in 2004, the site was growing, but we were not satisfied, so in the beginning of this year, we separated the sites. We have separate site for Russia and separate for Ukraine. We started in Bulgaria and Romania in one moment. It was around half of this year as a beta stage, and we get out of beta just end of September, so very long time ago. In Russia, we made another step, which is really bold step for this part of the business. We acquired the market leader, our staking market leader, which was Molotov Pro recently. I think completion was in October 2007, and we also managed to migrate all the data from old technical platform to our own technical platform, also in October. And we launched operations in Slovakia just 2 weeks ago. So these are the countries we are working with now. What is interesting from our perspective is comparison how this size and the speed of growth of Polish business and outside of Poland in CEE region business. So you can see that in terms of registered users numbers, still Poland is dominating. It's a huge business. There are 7 million users, and most of the commerce are going through our trading platform there. And the rest of the region is much smaller so far, but the growth rate is like 3 times bigger in outside of Poland. The same with the figure that we use to describe our business, which is the most probably reasonable, the value of all items sold on trading platform, which corresponds somewhere with the business model, which is of course fees taken from sellers. So we have monetization directly related to this figure. So for the whole region, it was €250 million last quarter. But again, the growth rate between Poland and the rest of the region, it's just this difference is visible. It's like 5 times. So it's clearly the growth is here in the region, in Romania and Czech Republic and Hungary, not in Poland anymore. Also for Poland, for this size of business, this 50% year-over-year is still pretty good growth. Okay, so our experience. Let's start from technology. What we do, we have one common technical platform for the whole CEE region. We have centralized IT operations in Poznań, in Poland, from headquarters there. So one server, everything on one server. A lot of servers, but in the same data center, there are all the servers for the whole region. We also have a dedicated developers team that is working only on these international sites, and we are growing with this team very fast. The challenge for us is also the translation process or localization process, because our core business is in Poland, and we start to develop features in Polish language, and to be able really to translate them, we need to first switch them or translate them to English language, which we do in headquarters in Poznań. We don't use this English version to anything else, then we translate it to local language to be adapted on local sites. So we use kind of a mixture between the local features that are really related to the local needs of the community and like advanced or common features for the whole platform that are already tested in different countries. What is always local is the category structure that have to reflect the local market specific and pricing, of course. So in different stages of business, we use different models of pricing, and even in different countries, we play with these prices to really, mostly now for this region, to really achieve the biggest growth, not really to earn money, rather it is focused on the growth. In terms of marketing, what we do, our experience, we use kind of online promotion mix. We don't use really offline outside of Poland in all these countries, even in the most successful ones. So what we do online, we do large deals with top players, which pretty much are, we try to do them like this. We do it long term, we based on revenue share. Of course, which revenue share is not possible in the early stage, so this is strictly connected. Yeah, we like to just say, hey, when we are big enough and we have really revenue. We would like to share this revenue from you. And the way we do it on the sites of the partners is purely content-based if we only can. So we just deliver the content. In our case, these are the items that are sold on TradeBee platform, and this content is presented on partners' side, and this really brings very nice results. We do plenty of smaller deals. We look for smaller players to have similar or different model. And we do also affiliate program, which is developed in-house, and we are pretty happy about the software part of it. So we try to adapt it in different countries. And of course, search engine marketing. But what I would say about this mix is that for us, this diversification is really a crucial thing. So we don't really want to be too dependent on one source in any country. So that's why we use so many. And what I also noticed during these years is that on the early stage, this mix of different deals and different promotion methods, traditional online marketing is really important. But later, what really counts is how users are satisfied with the site, and the biggest growth coming from simple word of mouth, people recommending the site to other people. What we do from the organization point of view, when we launch the site in a new country, we start from running these marketing activities from headquarters. So we have a team dedicated to new countries deliver, and then slowly local team, when it is ready, takes over responsibility. In general, what we do in all the countries and what is very successful for us, we focus on local community and try to focus on local community needs. What we did here in Romania to understand better the way people see such sites, we did a kind of research among our users to ask them about our competitor and what they feel about it and what they like, what they don't like, and we have some results and we want to use them to really develop this site in the right direction. In this kind of business, when we are really providing this place to trade, the safety or trust is really important, so we have some solutions that we adapt. And for us, another challenge is somewhere to balance the solutions against the frauds and against the transactional problems with growth rate. So we cannot be too strict, of course, to remain on the growth path, but from another perspective, we have to find a way to really achieve some security level. Because we are, for a Polish internet business, at least a pretty big company in terms of headcount. There are not many companies in Poland with 400 employees in strictly internet business. So we try to have this flexibility inside the organization for this international part. It is not so easy for this Polish part, which is already very big, but for international part, it's rather separated with a bit different rules, and it's working fine. We also use this Polish experience gathered by years, and we try to share this experience with people in local teams, which is a pretty clever thing. But we also, it's not like, for people who are aware of Polish situation, for them, usually Allegro is just a pure example of success, and it is, obviously, when you look at all the possible numbers. But of course, it's not like we didn't make any mistakes on the road. We know that we made some things wrong. So we try to also learn from Polish mistakes and from other countries' mistakes to avoid them in new countries. And if you look at this timeline I showed you and explained a bit how we work in different countries, you see that we are open to different models. If there's opportunity, we build from scratch. If there's opportunity to partner with somebody or buy a local player, which is usually leading the market, which is good. In Romania, very briefly, this is our brand, this is our site. We launched it not a long time ago and got out of beta somewhere around 2 months ago. This is a very early stage of the business. We are happy with the growth, but the numbers are not impressive yet. And we have office and team not in here in Bucharest, in Craiova. It's a small city, pretty small, around 200 kilometers on the west side. The reason we located office there is pretty simple. The translation for the Romanian language was made by the local IT company that is located there. and we are using their help in terms of operations, just to provide us office and staff leasing and so on and so on. They don't do IT. This is very core business, but for us, we are only doing staff leasing and office. We are pretty happy with working with them. So this is also our way of operating in a new country. We don't start with a big office in the